So, as a computer scientist, what was your role in this in the company that you had worked in, the voice? Um, what?
I'm a software engineer by profession.
Yeah.
So in the companies that I've either co-founded or worked in, it has always been roles where I have either led engineering teams or the product and engineering team. So it's been mostly in the software development area. More recently, I've been working on partnerships and developer relations and more of those kind of opportunities or innovation when it comes to new product opportunities, helping fund either experiences that get built or funding teams that are building those things. But at the end of the day, I come from a software engineering technology background, and most of the companies that I've helped or features or services that I've helped build has always been from a software engineering perspective.
Yeah. So, in that company that you had mentioned, listen.com, which has now become, I think you'd mentioned its name has been changed now. So what sort of work did you do in that company? So did you to help people find the music that they liked? What were the steps which you took, and what had to be
Yeah.
done?
Yeah, when we first started the company, obviously, we had the idea was, when you're trying to find music, the best way to find music is to ask others, what type of music they like, or how, here's what I love to listen to. What would you suggest that I listen to, depending on what I like, right?
Yeah.
And so we wanted to really be creating an experience that was human guided. And so the idea was to first kind of build set of genres of music that people typically listen to. And if you like pop, who are the top, what is pop music like? And what are some of the seminal artists in there? What are some of the top albums that you would want to listen to if you want to experience that? Like I would say the same thing if you want to listen to Bollywood music and you had never been exposed to it. What is the, how is the music, what type of music it is? It's usually, set to movies and things like that. Who are some of the seminal singers or performers? Who do you want to listen to? What type of albums would you listen to just get a quick experience? So that's what we wanted to build, so that if you're searching for, U2 on the internet, back when U2 was not available on the internet for you to listen to, we could tell you, hey, U2 is not available, but here are some of the bands that you would want to listen to if you love U2, right? So
Yeah.
it's that type of recommendation that we wanted to build. But the first step was to help some of the music experts create that classification, create all of the background. And so when I first started, as part of this company, I was figuring out how to help people who were editors, music editors, and so on, could have an easier way of, tagging music, being able to associate artists and things like that, and creating that database, if you will, of that. So I literally, I'm not so, like I pick whatever tool I can to make it easy for an internal one. So I used Visual Basic, believe it or not, back in the day to try and build a quick experience that allowed like a workflow for people to come in and put in their recommendation and have it be reviewed by editors and approved so that it would sit in our database, that we would then later on go ahead and build a consumer version of a website, if you will. It was called listen.com. So that's what I first started doing. I literally, when you're in a startup, when you're starting a small company, you do whatever is necessary at that time. So it was helping set up an IT infrastructure on the back end, or building a little software piece. And of course, also hiring people. So, I spent a lot of time trying to find the right people that I needed at that time in order to build a team, and then be able to drive larger and larger work that we started to create. Eventually, we built Rhapsody, which is the music subscription service that I was talking about. And so, in order to do that, again, we needed to kind of acquire a bunch of technologies that allowed us to do streaming music, and then build data centers. Now, of course, you get Amazon Web Services or other things that you can use, but we had to build all of these things in a variety of ways. So I think that's the other aspect of technology that I would tell your listeners, which is it's very easy to get into technology because there are so many tools, so many different frameworks, different languages that make it easy to create a small thing quickly. But over time, what you'll end up doing is to understand how it's built, what is called the technology stack. And the more you understand it, you will make your software more efficient, you'll make your services better. And also with some of the newer technologies that are coming in, the connection between hardware and software is very tight. If you have to if you have to build a self-driving car, you need to really understand the whole stack, if you will, starting with the mechanical aspect of the car and all the way up into how you help it navigate turns, right? So it's very, very important that whoever is getting into this build that motivation, but over time try to understand the full meaning of how things. And that's what that was something that we had to do because it wasn't really built at that time. There were no frameworks. You had to kind of build from bottom up. And so that's kind of how I started my career.
Yeah.